Alright, so welcome back to another Django tutorial. And in this tutorial, we're going to keep building on our form maker. So this part, first of all, sorry for not publishing video frequently enough because I have some other commitment issue to keep myself busy. But I'm going to try to keep the pace up, so try to publish 2 days of video. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is send, so in this part we're going to do is send email, for example, for verification and forgot password system. So you can finish our syndication. So what we're going to do here is you notice that I created a file called mail.py, and essentially what's going to happen is we're not going to use Django built-in send mail function, but we're going to try to build a whole send mail function on our own, since I think that's more valuable. And if you learn how to build a send mail function on your own, that's more valuable, and you will know what happened underneath the hood, and you will be able to set up Django send mail function easily. Okay. So in here, first of all, what I will do is I will import stimplib. So stimplib, it's not stimplib, sventlib, and now we know how to pronounce this module. But this module is basically enable us to send a mail. I noticed that I created a file called mail.py, not email.py. So you cannot create anything related to actual email name because that can cause module collision. And here you're gonna say from email.meme.multipart import meme multipart. So you're gonna import this class, I believe, and then so this way gonna accept not just raw text message but also HTML as well. And here I'm also gonna say from email.mime.text import mime text. Okay, so it support regular text as well. Finally, we're gonna import OS for some environment variable. So now let's go create a function, send email, and in here, or send mail actually, send mail. And in here, we're gonna take in 3 arguments: receiver, subject, and message. Pretty clear enough. So receiver is who do we want to send to. Subject is basically whenever they open the email. So before they open the email, they will say, okay, what's this email about? And the message, like the detailed message after the user open the email. So I'm gonna create a variable called me, and what me going to do is gonna be my email address, and it's gonna be this, which is my private email address. And then in here, I'm going to say password equals to os.getInf email password. Okay, and then so before this recording started, I just set a environment variable. So to say environment variable in Bash, you can just say export name, basically. What's your environment variable name? For example, email password, and then you can just type equals to, then directly type your text here without quotation mark. This is how it's set up environment variable. They can use it by importing OS module, os.getInf, and whatever your key value is here. Okay, and then I'm going to say you, which is the receiver. I mean, I don't need to do that part. Okay, so then in here, I'm just going to say MSG for message, and I'm going to go out use this meme multipart, and here you're going to set up the subtype going to be alternative. This is just some configuration step. And here you're going to say MSG. You can see now I can go start adding the, for example, subject going to equal to the subject. MSG from going to equals to me who's sending this email, and then MSG2 where do you want to send the email to, or receiver. Okay, so then what we could do is this. We could do HTML equals to message, and then basically what's happening here is message gonna be a HTML string, and it's just gonna store this as HTML. And then what I'm going to do is going to say part 2 equals to my text HTML. So basically we're specifying later what I'm going to do is we're going to attach this to our message, to the main multipart. And then here I have an HTML, which is a variable, and the type of HTML string, which is HTML. And here, then we can say msg.attach. So go ahead, attach the part 2 to this MSG, to this message. Now what we could do is we could send the email. So now in here, we can say something like this. S equals to stimlib. Now I'm going to use a stimlib. And here we're going to say stimlib.smtp SSL. So because my port specifically says support smtp lib, because my email host specifically specified that they want to use SSL, which is like a little bit more secure and directly for email ports. And here, my email port is this: privateemail.com, mail.privateemail.com. This is my port. And then let's see. And now I'm gonna say s.login, so I can actually need to log in to our stimlib. So me and my password. So now we logged in, and then I can proceeding by send the email. So in here I can just say s.send mail. Whoops. Send mail. So from, you guys will need to specify from again. Me to is to the receiver, right? And then now you can see the message. And then in here we can just say this. You can just say message dot as string. Change it to a string, and then we can say s.quit after it finishes. Okay, so let's just take a look, would this work or not? So let me go ahead and open up a IPython environment. Actually, I'm just going to open it using the Django shell. And then I'm going to go to private email. So I'm just going to send myself a message, basically. Okay, apparently I have to type my password again. Just keep my sign in. Okay, so now in here I'm just going to say from mail, import send mail. Okay, from mail, import send mail. And then let's wait for this private email to load, because this is my email account. And then here what I can say is that send mail. And then where do I want to send it? Well, to myself, boyan@boyan12.me. Subject is test. And the message I can write as an HTML. So I'm just going to write h1, and here I'm just say, hello world. This is a test message sent by Python. Alright, let me press enter. Press enter. And now you can see nothing prints out, which means I can assume everything's success. And apparently I have to manually refresh. I don't think it's going to take a while to let it automatically refresh. But now you can see I got a new email. And then you can see it said boyan@boyan12.me and it said hello world. It's a test message sent by Python. Alright, so now you can see our message worked. So this is just our first step. Our second step is in syndication. What I'm going to do is this. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to create different models. Alright, so models is what we call a SQL model, but you won't directly interact with SQL model. It's more like object relational mapping, ORM for short. So you have a look at this. I will link the description down below for modeling. It's basically write different SQL table and different column. In here, I'm just gonna say for a class token, and then it's gonna inherit a class from models.model. Okay. And then in here, it's going to be pretty simple. It needs the user ID. And then it's going to be integer, right? Models, that integer field that's going to basically create an integer type in SQL. And then we're going to have a token. This, which is this. So it's automatically going to be generated. So it's going to be a UUID field. It's going to be a UUID field. And the default is going to be this. I'm just going to import UUID module. UUID, I'm familiar. I'm not sure what it stands for, universal something. But it's basically a way to get some unique ID. That's a default. I don't think I need anything else. Then we can say primary key is true. So instead of like using that, we can just do this, and then we can change to ID. Yeah, I think that's all we need to do. If there's error, I can look at the error message. And then here, we're also gonna say a type, and it's also gonna be an integer field. So for now, we have two types, and we need to send an email require token or something. First, the 0, if integer field is 0, that means your verification token. If it's 1, that means it's your forgot password token. We're gonna see if we have time to implement both of these. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's go ahead and make this. So let's go ahead and commit this to the database. Notice we actually have a database here. Let's go ahead and commit this to the db.sqlx3, parsed by Django. So here I can say python 3 manage.py, make migrations, and then basically it's just gonna make all migrations, which are gonna create a different model. And then to actually commit this into database, you can say manage.py migrate. Now you can see it migrate successfully. So now I just need to change a few things. So now what's gonna happen is this. There might be a simpler way to do it, but this is just one way. So in here, what's gonna happen is this. I'm going to say, first I need to import the models in order to use it. So in here I can say from.models import token. Remember, token is a class that we created. And now what I can do is this. Instead of directly authorize user, once they finish register, I'm going to create a new token. All right. And the UID going to be automatically generated, so we don't need to worry about that. We just need to figure out what's a user ID. Well, user ID going to be, user ID going to be whatever this user ID is, right? So now so now what I need to do is this. So I can say this. User.objects.get username equals to request.post username, and it's gonna be .id. So basically it's gonna get the specific unique user ID, a integer, and then what we're going to do is a type. So the type is 0 because this is email verification. Verify their email is correct. All right. So let me just go ahead and remove these two lines. I'm just going to leave it uncommented. And be sure to .save so we can actually save it. So now what I need to do is get the ID. So now I need to reselect the object. I need to get the token. So in order to get the token ID, I just copy this string, this unique constraint. And then in here, I can say something, and then in here, I need to say .objects.get. This is how you can get one unique element. If there's multiple elements satisfy your condition, it's going to return error. But in our case, it's only going to be one. Because there's no way they can register twice. Okay. And then what we can do is this. Then in here, you're going to say this. And then I'm going to import the sendMail function that we just created. From mail, import sendMail. And then here we're going to say sendMail. Where do we want to send it? Ooh, we didn't take their email address, do we? So we need to take their email address as well, because we need to verify their email address. So maybe in register, we're going to say you need to type an email address as well. Email. Okay. And then in here, we can say send mail. And then we can say request.post email. Maybe I need to put email here as well. Email equals request.post email. And then subject is going to be verify your account. And the message is just going to be go here to verify your account. Remember, this is HTML, so I can just use HTML href to link. Where can they authorize it? So it's going to be https colon 127.0.0.1 colon 8000. This is the local host. And they're going to say slash auth slash verify. And then here we're going to say slash. And then let me go and put the f string. So you can use f string. And then here we're just going to say t.id, which is the token that they can use to authorize their account. And then here, instead of display this message, I'm going to say hello. Please check your email for the next step. Okay. And then in here, what we're going to do is this. Before we authenticate, before we do here, is after we authenticate the user during login, and the user is not none, then what we're going to do is we try to get the token. So see if the user is indeed valid, indeed authorized their email. So to do it, so as a user ID, it's going to be user.id, and type is going to be 0. All right, and they're going to do a try except. If they cannot find it, that means user successfully authorized. Otherwise, if they could find it, what we're going to do is we're just going to return HTTP response. Please verify your email first. All right. Logout don't have to change. Okay. So let's go ahead and implement the verify. So actually go ahead and verify your account. Now it's actually really easy. So we can just say verify. And here what we're going to do is this. We're going to take in another argument. Is a token or the verify ID or whatever you want to think as it. And then here we're going to say something like this. We're going to say this token let's say token. Shoot, I don't. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna try something like this. We're gonna use a try except again, so to catch some potential error. And then here we're gonna say this token.objects.get ID equals to token dot delete. So basically, we want to delete this from our table, but we're gonna accept some error, and the only error can happen is when this row doesn't exist, which means either it's invalid or it's already verified. So then I can just say return HTTP response. Your token is invalid. And in here, then I can say return HTTP response. You successfully verify your account. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look. I'm just going to proceed by opening the database and clear whatever is inside of it, specifically the users table. So let's give it a sec. And alright, you can see it's lots of table created automatically by Django. So in here, I'm just gonna say auth user. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and start the server, see if everything's running. Actually, one more thing. We need to update our urls.py to make verify work, for the link work. There's gonna be verify, be accounts. Actually, no, it's views.verify. Okay, let's go ahead and say Python 3 manage.py run server. So basically, what we're doing here is just associate the route with a function. And then actually, we need to go specify this. We actually need to use a placeholder, and it's going to be token. So what's happening here, it is going to be another argument that the user has to put to match it. Basically, it's a wildcard, you can imagine. So basically, anything matched with this constraint, which this can be parsed to a string, which is everything, can be considered as a token. Alright, so let's take a look in real action. So in here, I can just say /auth /register. Whoops. And here, I'm just going to type my username. Actually, let me just create a new account. And then the password. And my email just going to be Since I have this open, let's click on submit. It's gonna take a while to load because of sent mail function that we're using. It's gonna take a while to run. Hello, please check your email for the next step. Good, good. Let me go refresh my email. You can see now I successfully get a email thing. Oh shoot, there's something wrong with my HTML. So I realized something. There's something wrong with it. So go, and then I'm just gonna say, okay, I'm just gonna delete this row, I guess. So I can go restart it. Alright, let's go restart the registration process. Because I forgot there's something wrong with the HTML. Give it a sec. Hello, please check your email. Refresh. Alright. Yep, now you can see I actually still code. So I can click here to verify. Let's see what verify work. It successfully verify your account. I should actually try if you don't verify it doesn't work, but I'm pretty sure it works. Then let me double refresh. You can see now the code is invalid because I already deleted. Let me go log in, see if I could. Username, password, submit. Hello, you logged in successfully. Alright, I think this works now. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's all I'm going to do in this video. Again, every code can be found. And then in my own time, what I'm going to do is implement a forgot password, which is going to be basically the same thing. And maybe also enable login with your email. It's just going to be a little bit different because we're going to, instead of using a syndicate, we're going to use something else. Manually get the user object. So these are like really trivial. So I'm going to do it on my own time. Yeah, now you learn how to say email in Python. And from the next, we're going to actually start to create some new route, such as a dashboard where user can create form and stuff like that. All right, so I guess that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. And as always, stay safe and have a nice rest of your day.